Very good morning. Welcome to my class. Today we are going to discuss about the verification of simulation models. So this is under model number 5, that is verification and validation of simulation models. The main thing here we need to understand before going to this verification, one of the analyst is actually, he is analyzing, one has to validate the model. Otherwise what will happen, it should be accurate, then only we can go for verification process. So one of the real problems that the simulation analyst faces is to validate the model. The simulation model is valid only if the model is an accurate representation of the actual system, else it is invalid. Then only we can move to the verification. So verification is nothing but it's a process of comparing two or more results to ensure its accuracy. So in this process we have to compare the model's implementation and its associated data with the developer's conceptual descriptions and specifications. So this is how about the verification thing. We have to compare the two or more things and then we can analyze them. And then when we're talking about this validation is a process of comparing two results. We need to compare the representation of conceptual model to the real system. So if the comparison is true, then it is valid, else it is invalid. So for a simulation model, here we have the simulation program. Between the simulation program and conceptual model, we have the verification process. Between the real world system and the simulation program, we have the validation process. Between the real world system and conceptual model, we have the validation. So these things we need to know, and the techniques, in the sense we have various techniques in this verification and validation model, and techniques to perform the verification model, like by using programming skills to write and debug the programming subprograms, and by using the structured walkthrough policy, this is more than one person is to read the program, by tracing the intermediate results and comparing them with the observed outcomes. So many of the methods employed are informal, subjective comparisons, which one suspects is also the primary testing mechanism of system software. So it depends on configuration and input data. The kind of testing used in development of software system is to get a simulation model in functional order. But the additional things we can see is required for verification and validation, like many methods we can overcome, which will require the laborer's acquisition of real data years to uncollected, by comparing the final simulation result with the analytical result. This is one of the main techniques also we can see. Like for example, when we see the technique 1, so in the technique 1, what they are coming to say is design a model with high validity. So the model must be discussed with the system experts while designing, the first thing, and the model must interact with the client throughout the process, the second thing. The output must supervised by the system expert, this is the third thing. So this is how we are going to design a model with a high validity. So this is one of the major technique we can say. And now we will move to the second technique. The second technique that is we have to test the model at assumptions data. So this can be achieved by applying the assumption data into the model and testing it quantitatively. So sensitive analysis can also be performed to observe the effect of change in the results when significant changes are made in the input data. So this is one of the another technique we can say. Beyond this program debugging and all, the INR we are applying for debugging and all, this means the verification data needs to be generated at various points in the model for comparison with the expected values. A very good example we can say is output of mean inter-arrival times at points matching those from stability analysis. Example, default delay time is being used because the delay input for a server did not get hooked up. The more difficult issue of how well a distribution that have been used represents an actual data scenario. This is the process of validation process. So one more technique what we can see over here is we are going to determine the representative output or the simulation model. So like determine how close is the simulation output with the real system output, and comparison can be performed using the Turing test. It just nothing but it presents the data in the system format and which can be explained by experts only. And statistical methods can be used for compare the model output with the real system output. So this is also one of the technique we can say. Model data. So now we are going to model data comparison with the real data. So after the model development and all, we have to perform comparison of its output data with the real system. So two approaches to perform the comparison. One is validating with the existing system and validating with the first time model. So existing system in the sense, like what we can say is in this approach, we are using the real world inputs of the model to compare its output with that of the real world inputs of the the real system. This process of validation is straightforward, and however it may represent some difficulties when carried out, such as like if output is to be compared with the average length, waiting time, idle time. So it can be compared using the statistical tests and hypothesis testing. So normally we know that null hypothesis will be applicable on the input data distribution. Some of the statistical tests, like we can say chi-square test, Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, and Kramer-1 Nizh's test, and Moments test. So these and all tests we can use. So these tests is going to compare with the existing one to get the accurate outcome, we can say. So this is actually validating the existing one. And then first time model, how we are going to validate with the first time. So this is also second approach. The first approach is we are going to validate with the existing one, and next is we are going to validate with the first time model. So that is, we can say like subsystem validity, internal validity, and sensitive analysis, all those things. So when we see this approach, here it doesn't exist in the present nor as it exists in the past. There is no historical data available to compare its performance, and then hypothetical system, these and all based on assumptions only. So subsystem validity, when we see this, a model itself may not have any existing system to compare it with, but it may consist of known subsystems. So each of the validity can be tested separately. So next is internal validity and then sensitive analysis. So internal validity, in the sense, a model with a high degree of internal variance will be rejected as stochastic system with high variance due to its internal process, which is this just hide the changes in the output due to the input changes. See, for example, if you are having the constant input, then you will be getting the constant output. If you are going to change any modifications in the input, then definitely in output also there is a changes will be happening. So next is we'll see the sensitive analysis. So it provides the information about the sensitive parameter in the system to which we need to pay higher attention. So because it is a sensitive information, it should not hack with any others, and we need to protect with the cryptography. And phase validity, we already discussed this. Phase validity is nothing but those who having a knowledge about the real system is called the phase validity. So here when the model performs an opposite logics, then it should be rejected even if it behaves like the real system. So this is the phase validity. So what it happens if it should not perform on the opposite logics, okay, so otherwise it won't be rejected even it behaves like a real system. So this is one of the main concept, and here there is an example they have given. So the model, if you are going to compare with the existing, then we have an example, potential pitfall. This is a simulation model. So a simulation model provides a surface realism. It is possible to be fooled by the realistic appearance of the simulation. The best defense against this kind of mistake is to employ the multiple means of comparing model performance against the real data if available. This includes the statistical testing too. So this is the techniques we already discussed in this. So what are the techniques? Like we have a 6 in all techniques and increasing order of real cost. In model construction, it involves with the domain knowledge, particularly for developing the model elements. Domain experts should have the expert knowledge on where and what input-output data to incorporate. There may be previous work or statistical model from which some model elements can be extracted or developed. And for any predefined probability of distributions, we have the goodness of fit test too. So Turing test is also one of the technique we already discussed. So this is one where both real and fake data are examined to see if it can be determined which is which, and produce a set of model runs and set of real runs in the same format, and present them to people with the expect knowledge of the system, and present them with the task of determining which runs or model generated which and which are not. So if the knowledge experts cannot distinguish which is which and a consistency, then the test is said to fail to demonstrate model inadequacy. So this is a degree of accuracy, we can say. And implementing without validation. So here we already know that before going to the verification process, one has to validate the product properly with accuracy. So it is rarely acceptable to implement a simulation model with little or no validation. The model may be badly miscast due to ingrained assumptions of the modeler. For example, I may have a preconceived ideas of flow process based on my real world experience, but not understand the ways in which flows may change depending upon both the materials and the external factors. So this is how we can implement without validation. So it is easy to visualize scenarios where this kind of things may happen even when doing high quality modeling work. Like for example, if we wanted to model flow process on the surface of the sun, we can say. Thank you.